Hey guys, welcome to Smack Talk's Raw review, and with Extreme Rules just this Sunday, let's see if Raw can have a stellar go-home show. Here we go. So we kicked off the show with the big dog himself. Oh god, they must be paid lots of money to say that, because it felt terrible for me to say. And it pretty much started with him walking to the ring. Bobby Lashley said, "I dare you to call me out." Roman took the dare and called him out, and they beat the crap out of each other. Yes, Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle tried to stop it and said wait till Sunday. That didn't happen. The whole Raw male roster had to come out and stop them. It was a good brawl. It was a lot longer than it needed to be, in my opinion, but it really gives off this feel of these two do not like each other. We don't want to be around each other, and it's an interest. It's not really a promo, and it's nice to see sometimes not to have promos and just get onto a great big brawl. So I'm going to give this a good 6 out of 10 because it's something different. So I'm happy with that. Our first match of the night was Nia Jax and Natalya teaming up to take on Mickie James and Alexa Bliss, and you could tell straight away where the priority was for the Raw commentating team, because they honestly couldn't stop talking about Ronda Rousey at Extreme Rules, even though one, she's not taking part in the match, interesting that, and two, they said she's maybe suspended from Raw, but she has a front row ticket for Extreme Rules. Brilliant, good for her, but yet again she cannot take part in the match, even though it is an Extreme Rules match between Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss for the Raw Women's title. That is correct, but no, they kept on talking about Ronda. I know she's the biggest draw on the Raw Women's division right now, but for me, it just it's taken away a lot from their two that match itself, full stop, and the match which was going on tonight. It was a decent tag team match. Again, it's something we've seen over and over a few times now, and is it as good as the first time I've seen this match? Not really. Is it better or worse? No, it's exactly the same. So I'm really just going to give this a 5 out of 10. It's fine, it does its job. Nia Jax dominated at the end. She got the pinfall over Mickie James, which protects Alexa Bliss, which is great. But of course Alexa Bliss came out with a kendo stick and started attacking Nia Jax and Natalya. Nia, being the powerhouse of the women's division, caught it, snapped it in two, and stared down both Mickie James and Alexa Bliss. Then we finally got the rematch we were all asking for. That's right, we got No Way Jose versus Mojo Rawley. Yes, Mojo Rawley versus No Way Jose has a better feud build up than most wrestling matches on Raw recently. But I've got to give it, they have been building up quite well to this. And how was it? It was Mojo got the win. He won clean. Great. Does that end the feud? Is that it? Or are we going to still have... I'm just going to guess maybe. It was a quick match, so that's a good thing. I'll give it a 3 out of 10. Next up, we had a singles match where we saw Bo Dallas taking on Woken Matt Hardy. Yet again, Woken Matt has to take on one of the B teams, and what can I say, I love how the B team are being used and everything like that recently, but the matches against Matt Hardy have just been quite stale. They've not really been that good. And yes, Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel now have victories over Matt Hardy. Well done, that's fine. Do I think they're should be contenders for the Raw Tag Team titles? Not yet. I think the B team needs to build up better than what they have been built. But we're definitely seeing that Extreme Rules. It's fine. Bo Dallas did get the win. Bray Wyatt got angry. Both Matt and Bray attacked Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel after they started celebrating over Bo's victory. It's pretty much just take Curtis Axel out of the match, put Bo Dallas in. It's very similar type of matching. It's not really anything special. I'm giving this a 4 out of 10 mainly because I do still enjoy the celebrations the B team bring to the match. Now, interesting fact, we had Liv Morgan taking on Ember Moon, and guess what? It was in the same slot it was in last week. Surprise, surprise, and guess what? The result was exactly the same. It's like WWE aren't even trying. Nah, that can't be right. Well, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 10, mainly because I've seen this match last week, exactly in the same spot. Sorry again this week, exact same spot. Pretty much the match was fine. Ember Moon was the most impressive thing in the whole match. That's no surprise. Liv Morgan's learning on the job, you can definitely tell that. But yeah, Ember's definitely at a much higher caliber wrestler than Liv is right now. Nothing to complain about. Next up, we had Baron Corbin and Elias tagging to take on Finn Balor and Bobby Roode. It was a decent match. The best thing for me throughout the whole match was actually Elias and Baron Corbin, before the match even started, doing a duet. It was fine. Baron Corbin sang a lullaby. He can't sing, but it was entertaining. It made me giggle. So I'm gonna. The match itself was fine. Both Baron Corbin and Elias used dirty tactics to win. They did win, but Baron Corbin pinned Bobby Roode. That's kind of protecting Finn Balor. That's fine. But I just feel so sorry for Bobby Roode lately. The guy was US champion at some point. He was one of the best NXT heel champions I can remember. And now look at him. He's getting pinned by Baron Corbin. It's disgusting, right? But yes, it was a fine match. It's definitely doing what it needs to do. It continues the story between Finn and Baron Corbin. But it was good to see Elias. Elias was saying that the reason he hasn't been on the show, he hasn't performed for 2 weeks, because he's doing his first album. I cannot wait to listen to that on Spotify, because you know it's going to be on there. So I'm going to give this match a 4 out of 10. It was alright. And this moves us on to the main event, and probably the best match of the night. Actually, one of the best Raw matches we have seen in some time. It was Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. There, finally got to say it. Yeah, it was a great match. Slow pace at the start, exactly what you want to see from McIntyre. Very strong. Calling him the Scottish Terminator. He feels like a Terminator right now. Seth Rollins is Monday Night Raw. He is the man you want to see every night in the main event scene, because he just brings out stellar matches. Both men were just hitting each other with their best moves, and they could not put each other away, which is what you want to see. I honestly thought to myself, how is this on free TV? This should be in a pay-per-view for a title match. That's how good this match was. Definitely, if we got it another 5 minutes, this could be, for me, one of probably the best Raw match we'll see all year. But it was such a good match. I enjoyed it from start to finish. And because of this, Kurt Angle, he said if Drew won, he would be allowed ringside for Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler match, which is great, because it means there's something to fight for in this match. It's not just happening because Seth Rollins and Drew had an altercation earlier in the night, which they did, where where Drew called Seth out for a match and Seth accepted, and it was good. It was such a good match. If you haven't seen it, check it out, because it is probably one of the best Raw matches of the year. I'm going to give this a good 8 out of 10. I was going to give it a 7, but then I rewatched it because it was so good. It's an 8 out of 10. That good. And there you go, guys. That was Raw. But not just that, we also had some backstage segments as well, where Kevin Owens was hiding from Braun Strowman, which I don't blame him because Kevin has done nothing wrong. He's trying to keep away from the monster among men himself, which I cannot blame him. It was entertaining. He had a doctor's note. He hid in Kurt's office. Kurt was trying to get rid of him all night. Finally calls Braun in and says, by the way, Kevin, you're having a steel cage match with Braun Strowman at Extreme Rules. For me, there's no way it's going to get a score because it was just one of those backstage segments. As well, we also got Bayley and Sasha Banks' therapy session, which we didn't really see much. It was just them going back to it and like them talking. It's not Daniel Bryan and Kane's therapy sessions, which were fantastic. Their anger management segments were one of the best segments for Team Hell No. This just feels really lazy. It feels like WWE are out of ideas. And I don't understand this concept of Kurt Angle saying we settle everything in the ring and then sends these two to therapy. Makes no sense to me. But altogether, Raw was fine. The best bit was the main event. And you expect the main event to be the best bit because it's the main event. The opening was really good as well because it was different. We got a big brawl instead of a promo, which is great. And everything else just took its place and made the build-up for Extreme Rules feel more important. So, well, not important, but it just worked its way for Extreme Rules. So you can see where everything is leading. So for me, Raw itself gets a decent 6 out of 10. Everything was mediocre apart from the start and the main event, so well done. But there you go, guys. What did you think of Raw this week? Did you enjoy it? Did you think it was good? Did you think it was bad? Leave it in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please like, subscribe, and press the notification button so you can keep up with all our videos here at Smack Talk Wrestling. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, you can do. It's at Smack Talk YouTube. That's YouTube. And you can follow me on Twitter as well at Boise88. And I'll see you guys next time on Smack Talk Wrestling Reviews.